Well guys, good morning. Have ourselves a little bit of a video here. Well, with winter gone, spring pretty much out of the way, and well, summer beginning. Well, it comes to the realization that you haven't picked up your leaves in, well, a season or two, and well, they're starting to pile up and you're starting to get stuff growing in them, and soon that starts to get in the way. You get trees growing and weeds growing, and you end up having issues. Well, unfortunately, my old home light blower that I've had for 4 years won't start here this season. So pretty much I've made the executive decision to go down and pick me up a new blower. Done a little bit of online digging, online researching, and well, this was the blower that I decided to pick on up. It's a stihl brand, and model is the BG55. Now, of course, I was going to buy one from a big box retailer, but I decided to go for a dealer instead, and it actually was cheaper for basically a better blower, if you will. So, of course, let's tear on the box here, and we'll see what we have. So, of course, taking a tour around the box here. I'm assuming this is probably different languages that the product is, countries that it's sold in, right? Of course, you have UPC, barcode, serial number, model number, all that good stuff. And, well, on the other side, it's just a blank, side. Basically says, do not take the box for a walk in the rain. If you do, make sure you have an umbrella for it. And yes, the box has been opened already. And yes, the machine has been run. That was part of the purchasing agreement, I guess you could say, is that the dealership take it out of the box and make sure it was all okay. Give the old carb a little bit of an adjustment if needed. So, flip open the flaps here. And of course, you see the unit itself. There's your wonderful, no one ever uses safety glasses. A couple of cardboard flaps. You have your blower tubes and in your machine themselves. And of course the instruction manual or user handbook, whatever you want to call her. And of course the piece everybody's been waiting for, the blower itself. Again, it's a stihl brand, model BG55. This one here does have the option for the vacuum kit to go on it as well. But of course I just bought it for the blower. I didn't buy the vacuum kit yet. Now, of course, as part of the dealer setup, they did set me up with what they call moto mix. Basically, it's a synthetic blend of oils and fuel. Pretty much you almost can't even call it gasoline if you want. It's kind of their own blend, their own mix. They claim that it's better to run in the system than just regular pump gas. As well as they claim it doesn't varnish up, and it'll last in storage. I believe it was up to like 4 years or something like that, that fuel. Now, I'm not sure 4 years in the carb of the machine or 4 years sealed in the can. Of course, there's always fine print there, or, a lot of times what I find is the pump gas that I buy and then mix the oil with it, a lot of times it goes bad. Within, before the summer's over, and then that's when you have trouble with your machine, right? So basically a little bit of a once over here. It's a 27.2 cc engine on here. Weight is about 9 pounds or 4.1 kg. And it's about 69 decibels when it's running, so really it's not, that loud, I guess you could say. And it's about 140 miles per hour. The air comes out of the end of the tube, so it moves pretty decent. I believe the home light one was a little bit less than that, but it still did the job quite well. If you do choose to use pump gas on it and you want to mix your own fuel, it is a 50-to-1 fuel ratio. The pros on this, of course, is the price. The big box retailer that I looked at, the price was actually about $40 more than this price right here, and you basically took it right out of the box. And if it was defective, well then basically you just returned her back to the store and took your chances, right? You know, again, the weight of the machine, you know, being only 9 pounds, you know, won't be very fatiguing over the period of, you know, maintaining your lawn or yard or whatever you're doing with her. And of course, the dealer service or support, you know, for the first year is always nice as well. Cons, of course, is having to mix fuel. It'd be nice if it was a 4-cycle. But again, you can't have everything. And another con for it is it's a little bit cold-blooded. Again, being a 2-cycle and all, it sometimes takes a bit to warm all up and get everything rolling. So sometimes what they recommend doing is starting her up, letting her idle for a bit, you know, getting your rake and all that going ready first, and then coming back, and by then it should be warmed up enough that she should run without bogging down, right? So of course, a little bit of a tour on the machine itself. Right here, of course, you have your fuel tank, and you have your pull rope or recoil. You have your carb, which is kind of hidden in here. You got your primer bulb, which is there. You got your choke on or off button. And of course, this is your air cleaner right here. One thing I like about this here machine is the on-off switch is encased or covered in like a plastic covering to keep it from sticking when you're, you know, because you're out in a dusty environment, right? And it does have a throttle lock, so you can lock her wide open, and you know, then you're able to get more action without cramping on your hand, right? Again, pretty much that's a little bit more information there. Model number, you know, category 2 for the decibel rating, and all that good stuff, right? And of course, you have your, you know, servicing area up here that the mechanic will deal with. And of course, like a lot of things, they're not meant to be worked on by yourself because everything's all encased or covered in plastic. But there is a spark plug here that you can pull out to look at. However, of course, they don't give you a spark plug wrench or nothing like that in the kit. So to assemble the tubes together, basically you take this one end, which has, you know, a round nubbins and kind of a square nubbins. Line them on up with the corresponding grooves in the other tube. Stick them on in there and give them a twist, and then away she goes. Slide her on in, give her a little bit of a twist, and she kind of locks into place. Now, of course, to take this machine back apart, stick a little flat screwdriver or so in there. You got a little tab here on the machine you pry up, and this will come right back out. So of course, whenever you're refueling up any type of you know, gas-powered device, make sure you're in a well-ventilated area, no source of flame or any type of ignition, because, well, especially on a hot day, you know, the fuel will turn to vapor, and you don't want to be blowing yourself up. Especially not after spending the money to buy a brand new leaf blower, right? So of course, when you dig into their fuel here, it's kind of like opening a can of brake fluid or whatever. It's got its little safety tab. Pull the little security tab or safety tab, and then we'll give her a shot of fuel. It's kind of weird, this mix of fuel they have here actually has a blue tinge to it. That's probably the oil that they have, the synthetic blend of you know, oil they use. So of course, put the old cap back on and get the old choke going. One thing that this thing does have is you can't over prime the system and basically flood out the unit. Once she's full of fuel, basically it backflows back into the tank. So it helps to prevent you from, well, flooding her out, right? So of course, give her a flip to on. You have your choke on, and I'll give her a pull on the old recoil. Of course, for those of you that are familiar with starting these devices, it's like starting a chainsaw. You'll hear it sputter out. Flip the choke off, give her a pull, she should fire right up. And you see a bit there how she's a little cold-blooded. And then basically to shut the old blower off, you just hit the off switch and she completely kills. There's no fuel to shut off. There is basically nothing like that. And then away you go, right? Of course, like you guys seen there, she was a little bit of a pig to start. Was cold-blooded. Took a couple of, a minute or so to warm up, and then she went fairly well. But guys, this has been an unboxing, a little bit of a first look, and a little bit of an operations check of a stihl BG55 leaf blower. So, as always guys, thanks for watching Maxwell's World. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.